I have been asked by a dear student of mine to speak on the subject of empathy. The concern is, when does empathy cross the line into allowing yourself to be used? In this regard, and stemming from a Christian culture, we take our cue from the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 40. And if any man will sue thee at the law, and take away thy coat, let him have thy cloak also. The manipulative and unscrupulous among us are well aware of this teaching, and use it to their advantage. Does this mean we should harden our hearts and turn away from the needy? What comes to mind is the old adage, give a man a fish, and you feed him for a day. Teach him to fish, and you feed him for life. If this is applied to Matthew 5:40, I would say that if a man asks you for a fish, give him the fish and a fishing rod. If he discards the fishing rod and comes back for another fish, turn him away. This brings up the subject of empathy in a broader sense, and the Buddha of compassion. It's impossible to overlook the confusion and pain inherent in our society. And as persons endowed with empathy, our hearts yearn to soothe those wounds. However, the field of suffering is so vast that we are easily overwhelmed. But we must keep in mind that the field did not spring up on its own, and not overnight. It is the harvest of generations upon generations of the seeds of selfishness being sowed. Every past master has addressed this in the same way. Do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Love God above all things, and love your neighbor as yourself. The Buddha, who left his home out of empathy for the world's suffering, taught that there is no transmigration of a self. Nothing of the conditioned self transcends physical death. The conscious or unconscious denial of this results in the placing of the idol of self upon the throne of our temple. And these seeds of selfishness are sown into the world. The conditioned self being a manufactured illusion, our throne is then essentially empty. When the throne is empty, anarchy and lawlessness rule the land. There is no transmigration of a self. What does transcend death are your thoughts, words, and deeds, for these contribute to the flow of cause and effect. To quote the Buddha, be careful of your thoughts, words, and deeds, for you will become heir to them. This is true empathy and the very heart of compassion.